20 colleges abroad, particularly in US, or the top 10 colleges in UK, or the top 5, 6 colleges in Canada, yes, you can definitely look at applying for MS abroad programs without GMAT and GRE. Okay, let's see how to do that. Great. So before I jump into how to do that, let me give a quick introduction about ScoreLeap. So ScoreLeap is a tech company. It's co-founded by myself and by Rashmi, who is an master's in public administration from Harvard Kennedy School, Harvard University. So we essentially have a mission to help over 8 lakh students go abroad, apply to the MBA or MS programs for the colleges abroad seamlessly, and make the entire process a lot more easier, right? So Scolib is basically a funded company from multiple angel investors, including the vice president of Walt Disney in Los Angeles. And in fact, we also have a lot of mentors from top universities around the world, such as Harvard University, Stanford, University of Toronto, INSEAD, to name a few. All right? Wonderful. Now, these are some testimonials from some of our students who have gone to do their masters in management, masters in finance, and masters in engineering, and masters in human-computer interaction, and from MBA program abroad. Okay. Now, let's see how to go about doing that. So how do you get to MS programs abroad without GMAT and GRE? So certain important things. So what are they? The first and the foremost thing is you got to choose the right college, and then you got to choose the right program. Okay, you need to speak to the admissions team, you need to speak to professors, speak to alumni, write impressive statement of purpose, get strong recommendations, and get a professional help if required. All right. Now let's understand each one of these things in detail. Okay, so first and foremost, let's begin with choosing the right college. It's imperative that you choose the right college, right, to get into your desired program, right? It is very, very important. So how do you do that? So you start by doing a lot of research, but even before the research, you should first of all understand what are your strengths and weaknesses. Who are you as a person? What are your strengths and weaknesses? That's very, very important to understand, right? Like for example, let's say that you want to apply for a master's program in management. So you got to ask yourself, am I a people's person? Do I have an ability to speak to the people, guide people, lead people, right? So do I have an ability to work in the teams, right? So you need to understand your strengths and weaknesses before you apply to a particular, before you choose a particular college. So it is important that you understand your strengths and weaknesses. Second, most important, your academic background. Academic background has to be very, very important. Like if you are an engineering student, now what kind of colleges that you are choosing? If you are a student with a BBA or a BBM background, what kind of colleges that you are choosing? That matters a lot. Some of the schools, like for example, let's say if you're applying for a master's in finance or master's in management program, you want to apply for that. And some of the colleges have a requirement that you should have had done some finance related courses or some management related courses before you apply to those programs, right? Otherwise you cannot apply. Some colleges don't mind. Some colleges want to come with no background in the management, right? Like that. And then let's say somebody who has done his bachelor's in mechanical engineering but want to apply for computer science engineering, not all colleges take, right? So you need to check for those things. Will the college allow admit students from different disciplines, right? And then again, what is very, very important is to understand your goals. Why you're doing this? Why do you want to do this? Just because your friend is doing it, or do you have some kind of a personal professional goals? Or is somebody telling you to do it? Is your parents forcing you to do it? Or somebody, a neighbor is doing and therefore you want to do it? No, those and all should not be the reason. The reason should be related to you. What you want to do ahead in your life. What are your personal and professional goals? That matters a lot, right? Should not randomly pick a college and apply to it. It's very, very important that you understand your goals. Based on that, you need to choose the right college, right? So jot down why. What is that I want to do after my undergrad? After let's say 2 or 3 years my undergrad, if I do master's program, what is that I wanted to do after that? What are my personal and professional goals? Have an understanding of that, right? It is very important. You need to brainstorm, you need to talk, you need to talk to your friends, you need to talk to your teachers, professors, parents, know more about yourself and set goals, right? That will help you to choose a right path and perhaps a right college. Okay, right. And then the second most important thing is to choose the right program, right? Again, right program is very, very, very important, as I was mentioning a few minutes ago, right? Program should be correct for you, right? So it is imperative that you ask yourself where your interest lies. Right? I keep hearing from a lot of engineering students, like, I don't like engineering. I was doing engineering because my parents forced me to, but but I don't know. I mean, I may want to do management. Are you really interested in, right? Where your interest lies? You need to ask yourself. This is a soul searching question, right? Because when you are talking about an MS program abroad, it involves a lot of cost, right? It involves a lot of time. So you need to really ask yourself where my interest lies, right? It's very, very important to know that. And you also need to ask yourself, what am I actually, good at? Right? What do I know? What am I really good at? You need to understand those things, right? A lot of people don't even look into these aspects. They just randomly choose the college and choose the program. Do not do that. Okay, right? You understand where your interest lies. You understand what are you actually good at. Okay, right? And then when you choose a particular program, guys, it is important that for these schools to understand, are you randomly applying to this particular program, or do you really have interest in this particular program? So how do you demonstrate your interest to the colleges? Well, by some kind of activities that you would have done from your college till the date that you're applying, right? Have you done any internship in that particular program? Have you have any kind of work experience? Have you done any kind of research? Let's say that you are a mechanical engineer and wanting to apply MS in automobile engineering. Wonderful, great. But have you done anything with respect to automotive or automobile engineering in the last 3-4 years of your undergrad? Have you done some internship programs? Have you done any kind of research activities? Have you attended synopsisms, workshops related to automobile engineering or automotive engineering? Right? Schools want to see that, right? That demonstrate your interest. Right? They understand, okay, you don't want to take GMAT or GRE, but you do seriously have interest in these areas. And somewhere you need to demonstrate some kind of linkage must be there when you choose a particular program. So all these things needs to align. Do you say interest lie there? Are you actually good at it? Are you doing because someone else is doing it, right? And can you demonstrate your interest through some kind of a internship or work experience or some kind of research or academic activities, right? Coursework, right? Let's say that if you are an engineering student and want to do an MS in finance, have you done some kind of a coursework in the last 6 months to 1 year? Did you go to Coursera and picked up some courses, understood the fundamentals of accounting, understood the fundamentals of finance? That shows your interest, right? These are small activities that you need to do in order to demonstrate that you are interested. So, and that will help you choose the right program. Okay, very, very important. Great. And then it is also the next step. Once you choose your program and once you choose your college, and that's when the real game starts. Okay. Now, what is that? The first and the foremost thing is start speaking to the admissions team. Every college have their admission contact details mentioned on their websites, right? There are so many, what do I say, social networking platforms. You have LinkedIn, right? Make sure that you all have accounts on LinkedIn, right? And start putting up your profile. Take a couple of recommendations from your professors. If you have done internships, take a recommendations from your supervisors, right? Make sure that your LinkedIn profile is also very good and strong, right? So first and the foremost thing, connect to the admissions team through an email. Set up a meet with them, right? Hey, I'm so and so. I'm interested in this particular program. I would want to discuss with you whether I'm a right fit, and I want to see what school has to offer. Can I speak to you at so and so time? Right? Today, with the Zoom, and the world has become so small, you can talk to any time, any moment. Is it not, right? So set up a meet. And while you're setting up a meet, make sure that you share your resume, right? Share your resume and your profile, very, very important. So in the resume, show all the relevant activities that you have done, show all the relevant coursework that you have taken, right? And as I said, build your profile on social networking platforms like LinkedIn, get recommendations from your professors, relevant professors, get recommendations from your the internship supervisors, and that's how you build your profile, right? And then when you meet this admissions team, discuss with them your strengths. Okay, when you're talking about your strengths related to the program that you're trying to apply. Okay, let us say you're applying for a master's in UI UX design. Okay, so what are you good at in terms of UI UX design? Do you have an understanding of how and what interfaces should look like? Do you have an understanding of how does the colors and the fonts look like? So what are your strengths and how do you demonstrate your strengths? So discuss with them, show them what and all you have done, how you have done. Give that kind of a presentation, right? That shows that you're seriously interested in the program. Okay, and then discuss with them how can you actually contribute to their class. What schools essentially look at is, okay, whether you are a right fit, which means to say that have you done all these things in order to get an admit, and then do you have something with you that you can actually share with the class, right? This is the two things that are very, 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 very important, right? So you have to show to the admissions team how can you contribute to the class, through variety of discussions. You can share your research experiences, you can share your academic experiences, you can share your internship experiences, right? And you have done any other extracurricular activities, like if you are in sports, if you are in, let's say, theater, if you are in filmmaking. There's so many ways and means that you can actually contribute to the class, to your peers, right? So you need to talk to them how you wanted to contribute to your classroom, right? You need to be, when you're talking to the admission team, you need to be a person with full of energy. You need to be a person with a lot of confidence. The confidence and energy should be oozing out, right? You should be answered that admissions team like, let's apply and let's make it happen types, right? There are some times some colleges might even offer you a spot admission, right? That, right? A lot of times, a lot of these events happens at various five-star hotels pre-COVID era, right? Where you just take your resume to them, they see the profile, you talk to them for a few minutes, and they like to, they will offer you a conditional offer letter, right? So your discussion should be asked that, you should kind of prompt them to offer you give you an offer letter, an admissions offer. Correct? Of course, conditional offer, subjected to whatever the things that you need to give it to them, right? Speak to them. Speak to them about your interest in whatever program that you wanted to showcase your strength, either in form of academics or in the form of work-related activities. You can show them how can you contribute to the class. Okay, very, very important. Then the next thing that becomes super important is now start speaking to professors. Again, a lot of professors are available for you online through LinkedIn channels, right? So you connect to them on LinkedIn, send a mail to them, and then ask for the time. They would love to speak to you, right? Set up a meet with them. Again, same thing. You share your resume and profile, and then discuss with them what is that you plan to study, right? Very, very important. So before, when you speak to the professor, one of the most important thing that you need to know is do a significant amount of research on who is that professor, what courses is he teaching, what kind of research activities is he doing in the class, right? Is it doing in the university? Understand what kind of books that he has published. Try to read a few things, and then in the meeting, when you speak about that, the professor saying that, hey, I've gone through your writings here, that's fantabulous, this is the area of my interest, I really want to do more work in this particular area. So you basically demonstrate your interest not just in the sub area of your study that you want to get in, but you also demonstrate a lot of what is the interest in the kind of activities and the research the professor is doing. That's when you'll be able to connect, right? And the professor will get impressed. There could be chances that he may even offer you a tier on RA, right? But this needs to be done. This needs to be done in a systematic manner. You understand that, right? And demonstrate your research interest. If you have done any research, and you show what kind of research that you have done. If you published a paper, share with him or her what kind of paper that you've published, right? And speak more about your research interest. What is that you wanted to do? How you want to change the things? How you want to make the world a better place? So on and so forth. Again, the full of energy, or full of enthusiasm, and full of love for the study that you plan to pursue there. right? Very, very important. Okay. Then this is the most important element. Speaking to alumni or the current students, I know the lot of students, out there approach these consultants, right? There are so many consultants who don't even charge you. They probably charge you some 10, 15,000, and they say that, what, we will take care of it, right? And they apparently have connections with some of these universities. Some, like in US there are 3,500 universities. They all web pages looks amazing, right? And they are wonderful in terms of their social media marketing, right? You don't even know whether the particular university is good or bad. And do you know that normally the consultant gets paid for every student that they send to the college, right? And then they pay a huge amount of money. So consultants, try to send, some of the consultants, not all, some of them try to send to the universities where they get maximum money from, without even worrying about whether that's the right program for the student, is that the college that he wants to go, and things like that. Only student after going there realize that, oh, this is such a crap university, and this is not what I want to do. This is not the professors I want to speak to. This is not the kind of students I want to be circulated with. And then it'll be a devastating experience, right? We need to avoid that at all costs. How do we do that? Speak to the current students, speak to the alumni. They are there everywhere. As I said, today social media network has so many, so start speaking to them, right? You speak to them. So what is that you speak to them? When you speak to them, first and the foremost thing is that you need to know their experiences of the college and of the program, right? The kind of program that you intended to take. A lot of times the college may have a program, but nobody might be taking it, or there are no professors for that. A lot of things may happen like that, right? And you will not even know that. You can know only when you speak to an alumni or a current student, right? So speak to them about his experience, her experiences about the college and the program. And then, okay, they may have they have the program, their professors who are doing that, but fine. But what kind of placements will the college help us with, right? And what is the career advancement services does the college offer? Do they even have a cell? If they have, how do they offer? Does the colleges offer any kind of internship opportunities, right? A lot of colleges do have wonderful internship opportunities, like engineering internship programs, corporate leadership programs. If you get these internship opportunities, actually the companies will pay your entire fees, right? So what kind of opportunities, internship opportunities that the college provides? Has he got some opportunities? Try to find out if anybody got such opportunities, and try to speak to them as well, connect to them and speak to them. And also discuss about the courses and the professors, the program that you want to do. Who are the professors who are teaching that program, right? What are the courses? What is the entire gamut of courses, right? So find out about them, right? Is very, very important. Sometimes there is only one professor, that's it. One professor is not sufficient for a particular program, right? You need to have a lot of professors. And what's the professor's background? Who is a professor, right? You need to have a great understanding. The professor should be either an industry person or a research person. Okay, only then you get to gain a lot of things from the professors, otherwise you don't, right? Very, very important. And of course, last but not the least, super important for every student who wish to go abroad and study, is the cost of living, right? You need to understand what is the cost of living and what is the relevant support system, right? The cost of living should not be expensive, right? And that's something that you have to keep in your mind. And again, what is the kind of support system? When you say support system, how is the peer group? How are the other students? Are they supportive to each other? Do they support each other? How does it work, right? How students stay together? Do they stay on campus? Do they stay out of campus? If they stay out of campus, how do they manage the rest of the things? These are the research that you need to do. These are the things that you need to talk to the students. Very important. That's an effort, a small effort. You said you don't want to study for GMAT and GRE, right? And therefore, this effort, very, very important. Okay, because you don't want to apply for some college and then go there and realize that, oh my God, it's not where I want to go. Is it not, right? Very, very important. And some colleges lure you with some scholarships just like that. Let's say there is a university called Oklahoma City University. In fact, there was and this Oklahoma City University offers you 10, 15, $20,000 scholarship. And if you go there and share, it's just the entire campus is in a garage, right? There is a university by the name Pace University. Pace University, is in the New York. It's in the middle of the New York, and where the market is. And then it's in the entire university is in one. Let's say I think second floor. I think second floor of the entire building. One floor is their entire university, right? They can take some amazing pictures of New York, that and this, and put them on the website to make it look so amazing. They would have managed the social media so very well, right? And you will not even know that, only to go there and realize that, oh my God, I would have been better off studying back in India in my hometown itself, right? Than coming to this college, right? So you got to be careful, right? So understand those things. And in fact, there are some colleges which have been blacklisted, which are not really good. You will not get work visas after that. Whole bunch of things will be there. So you need to know all those things. Speak to the current students and alumni who have experienced the entire journey with that college. Okay, very important. And then the next important thing, this is super important. We have done all the research. We have spoken to the admission directors. We have spoken to the professors. We have spoken to alumni. Now we know, okay, now this is the college I want to apply. This is the program I want to apply. Now start your application process. One of the most important thing in your application process is to write an outstanding essays. Essays are very, very important, right? In the essays, the first and the foremost thing is tell your story. Don't try to write generalistic things. Okay, don't try to write, how India is, how it is culturally diverse, right? And how the economy is growing and how politicians are. Don't try to talk about all those stuff. They know about it. When they say write an essay, write a statement of purpose, they want to know more about you. Tell your story. Who are you? What is your background? Right? What are your parents? Right? What kind of hardships had you had while you're growing up? Any kind of hardships, right? Was there a financial difficulties while you're growing up, and was it really difficult for you to, that your family really supported, worked very hard, your mom and dad worked very, very hard to get you the schooling, right? And to get you to the college degree, right? That's a great story by itself. Okay, don't shy away from sharing those kind of narratives if you have one. Okay, right? Very, very important. And if you come from a good background, a privileged background, where you don't have any kind of financial issues, and your parents were really kind enough to take care of you throughout and not let you feel deprived of anything, which means to say that there is a lot of value system goes into it. Talk about that value system. What is that you learned from your family, right, lineage, and what is that you learned from your parents, what is that you learned from your grandparents, from your hometown, right? It's very, very important, because this is a character, right? That's a character that you have been grown up with. So narrate that story, right? And then it is also very important to talk about the journey, right? The entire journey. When you're talking about academics, particularly, you started, let's say you're doing a particular program. Why did you choose that program? And I know, a lot of times in India, probably we've been pushed into the program, but you cannot say that, right? You just can't say that. So you need to show that you are interested. Yes, I was interested in these things, so therefore I chose this particular program. And in that particular program, I love these subjects. While I studying these subjects, I learned. Everywhere you have to show how the courses, how your professors or lectures, and how your peer group have shaped you up, both intellectually and personally, right? You need to talk about that as a story beautifully, right? And in the process, you should also demonstrate your academic interest, right? It should be entire journey. 4 years, there would have been a character arc. Your interest would have shifted, right? Your what you want to do. There will be a points in your life, in your academic life, where certain things would have instigated you to take a particular path. What are those instigations? What are those motivations? What are those instances the school wants to know? So talk about them, right? And then what is that you have done to build your further interest, right? Have you taken more courses? Did you do internship? Did you try to do more research? Did you publish papers? So speak about those things, your academic and the research interest, right? So speak about those things in a detailed format, right? Bring in as much technicalities as possible, sophistication, because when you're applying for MS program, they really want to see all those things. Like, for example, if you want to apply for MS in chemistry, right? Bring about a whole bunch of elements into it. From periodic table to the chemical compositions to everything that you have worked with and you love. Speak about those. And then internship experiences are very important, and the schools look into this very, very seriously. You are a technical person or you are a business person, it is imperative that you gain a lot of internship experiences. A great amount of internship experiences can really play down your not taking GMAT and GRE, right? So try to gather as much relevant internship experiences as possible. If you are in a first year or second year, you still have a lot of time to get into internship experiences. Get into internship experiences as many as possible and try to be relevant and learn from it. Don't worry if somebody is paying or not paying, but this experience should be more of learning than what otherwise. Okay. And then in your essays, you got to be super specific about your short-term and long-term goal. I see this a lot of times. People won't very clearly specify what is that they intend to do after the master's program. What exactly you plan to do? You can say anything, right? You want to work, let's say, with a software firm as an engineer, and then want to move ahead and become, let's say, whatever that you want to become, right? Or you want to work for 3-4 years, and after that you want to quit and start your own company. You can say, and you want to start a company and so you can talk about, right? So it is important that you specify your goals, okay? Short-term goals and long-term goals, very important. In fact, some of the schools wanted to know what exact industry you want to work, what role you want to do, you want to work on, and what company. They want to know this. They just want to know, have you have the clarity of thought when you are thinking about your goals. So be as specific as possible, particularly the short-term goal. Long-term goal can be a little bit, it could be abstract, but again, you should be able to align both short-term and long-term goals. They cannot be radically different. Okay, you cannot say, okay, I'm working as an engineer, 10 years down the line, I want to start a hotel. Absurd, not connected. That's nonsense. Okay, so don't do that, right? Your long-term and short-term goals should be aligned properly. They should be a connection. Okay, very, very important. And last but not the least, this is again something which I don't see in a lot of times when some of the students come to me after they got rejected, right? They apply to some of the colleges and they get rejected, and Kalyan, I don't know why we couldn't get in. So since we do admissions, we know about these things in detail. So when we ask them to submit their statement of purposes that they gave to the colleges, when I see that, one thing they have not said anywhere is why they have chosen that college or the school, right? Why that particular school and why that particular program? They have to explicitly mention that. And when you say, it is not simply about, hey, your school is great, your college is great, it's in the top ranking, you have a cutting edge curriculum, not that generalistic term. They know about it. Can you be specific? What curriculum are you talking about? What courses are you talking about? What do you know what courses you want to do when you are there, right? Do you know what specialization and what courses and that specialization you want to do? Do you know which professors you want to learn from, right? Do you know what else activities you wanted to involve in the school or in the college? You need to be going those kind of details that shows that you are really interested in getting into that college, right? So the research has to be as detailed as possible. Okay, it is very, very, very important, and we spend a significant amount of time on giving a thorough details to the student of what should go in to that particular into that particular essay, right? Okay, write with the right fonts, make sure that there's no spelling mistakes, make sure that there's no grammatical mistakes. Okay, and don't just write. A good essay will normally be around 1/3/4 to 2 pages. Okay, 12 font, right? And neatly aligned with proper margins, right? That'll be a very good essay. Okay, and has to be very well crafted. Okay, it should not be like, I see sometimes people write very lengthy paragraphs, right? That's very wrong. Okay, right? Small paragraphs, and split your story into portions of paragraphs. I see some of the students write very, very long sentences. It's so difficult to understand and comprehend. Don't write such a long sentences. And sometimes you don't even put transitions. So I will not understand how the story is moving. So keep the transitions, right, and beautifully move from one layer to another layer. Fifthly, when the academic director reads your essay, they should be like, wow, what an amount of clarity that the person has. And this is the candidate we definitely wanted. We don't care whether the student has got GMAT or GRE, but he has a lot of clarity. We want to take him in, right? Okay, that's very, very important. And having said that, please make sure that your academics are also strong. Okay, don't want to take GMAT GRE, that's fine, but make sure that your academics are strong, not to have any backlogs by the time that you apply. Okay, too many backlogs is not very, very good, right? Make sure that your academics are also very strong. Right, and then the next important thing would be a strong recommendations. Make sure that you take recommendations from your professors. I would say not strong is a very small word. I would say you should get stellar recommendations. A lot of times professors even don't know what to write, so they generalistically write. They'll have one template, cut, copy, paste the same template for every other student, like 3/4 of a page with bunch of adjectives. No, it should not be a bunch of adjectives. It should be all about you. We should be talking about your strengths and weaknesses with examples. If your professor think that you're a fast learner, why he thinks that? If professor think that you are a research bent, why he thinks you're a research bent, right? So the professor needs to talk about your strengths and weaknesses, academics, research, and outside classroom activities. He needs to cover the entire gamut, okay, of experiences that you have had in the college, right? So you need to sit with the professor, help him write these things. Say, professor, this is very important for me. Your recommendation will make or break my admission, and sometimes it will give a lot of weightage for my scholarship, and I need to get scholarship to go abroad. Can you please write all these points like this, right? You need to really sit with them. If they can't, you write it and give it to them, right? It's very, very important. In the recommendation, they have to talk about your academic interest, they have to talk about your research interest, they have to talk about your academic goals and professional goals, right? All those things should go into that. Professor should know why you're doing what you're doing, and therefore strongly recommend. He believes that yes, whatever goals that you have set for yourself, you will accomplish that goals. You have capabilities and abilities to accomplish that goals. And particularly if you have the master's degree from whatever college that you're applying, you will definitely achieve those goals, right? You see a lot of growth prospects in you, like that you will do a great job there. Okay, that's very, very important. So spend good amount of time getting a strong recommendation from your professors. Okay, perfect. Any questions anybody want to ask and type in quickly? Let me also complete this quick thing. What we do for the students. So we are affiliated with over 300 colleges abroad. That includes some of the top universities, right? And when we say affiliated, so basically admission directors work closely with us, helping our students, trying to see whether they are right fit into the college, whether they have to do something else in order to get into that particular college, right? And whether the college has a program that these kids are looking at, these students are looking at. So they help us with all those things. Very, very closely we work with admissions directors of over 300 colleges in US mainly, and then UK, continental Europe, and Canada. We still not ventured into Australia. We plan to do that. Our major network is in this side of the world. Okay. As I said, and we have a very strong alumni connections. A lot of our students over the last decade that we have been doing this, we have our students, studying and graduating from over 100 universities across the world, more than that. And we have a very strong relationship with the alumni over the several years, and of course admissions teams with all those colleges. So the entire process of admissions can become a lot more easier for you than would otherwise, right? We do a lot of work on your behalf, right? And then selection of colleges, as I said, selection of colleges is very, very important. So what we do is, if in case you decide to take our services, we have a team of admissions experts. Again, these guys are also admission directors. So some of those colleges that we are affiliated with, they will go through your entire profile, understand your profile, and they will help you and help us select the right colleges for you, right? That you can best fit in and can stand out, the high chances of getting an admission, okay, and perhaps with the scholarship, right? And then we also help you build outstanding essays, right? Our writers are next level storytellers, right? They'll take as much content as possible from you about your life and come up with such an impressive essays. You will be like a hero in that film, right? And of course you are a hero of your life, so it has to be projected that way, right? They also do a significant amount of research about the school and the college that they're applying, and they try to fill in a lot of gaps, right? So that when the admissions team looks at those essays, they feel that wow, this is an amazingly piece of essay that has been written. But again, when we are doing that, we try not to remove the individuality of your own self, who you are, what you are. That should not be removed from the essays, right? Because in case there is an interview, they should not meet two different people, who somebody is in the essay and somebody I'm meeting. So we try to narrow down that particular gap as much as possible. Okay, and then we assist with the stellar recommendations. We tell you what should go into recommendation, how it needs to be written. Again, we take the content. Our amazing writers do write the recommendations for you, which you can give it to the professors and to submit. Of course, professors have the the freedom to make any changes that they want to do, but you have to try to make sure that they do submit those strong recommendations. Recommendations are very important for your scholarship. Okay, right. And in case there is an interview process, we'll help you with the end-to-end interview process, starting from what should be the content, what you should be saying, what is the delivery, diction, the body language, the tone, tonality, your appearance. Everything will be beautifully trained and crafted for you, so that you give an amazing interview to the admissions team. Okay, so this is an end-to-end process. We also help you with the finance, which means to say that, hey, you got an admission, but where do I get the money from? Right? So there are our partners who can help you get up to 100% finance for the programs that you want to do abroad, without any cosigner, without any collateral, right? You can take that loan and you can pay over the next 7, 8, 9 years. Very small income after some of the programs will allow you to pay after you 6 months after your graduation. Some of the programs you take a small amount of interest from the day one itself, right? But these are again amazing partners that we have, who can help you get as much funding as possible. Going through banks and all those things can be very hassle. So we have a seamless process, and we have a great ties with them, and they should be able to help you. And then we also help you with the visa guidance. What is the documentation? What should go into it? How you should go into it? What you should say or not say during the interview? How you should be trusted? And how you should go for the visa interview? So those things also we do. We do an entire visa guidance as well. So basically, it's an end-to-end process from dream to destination. You wake up, you dream in the night, you wake up in the morning. Here, I decided all that you have to do is dial ScoreLeap, speak to our associate, get on board, and from there make sure that you reach it, you will reach your destination. Okay, so that's an entire thing that we will take care for your dreams of studying abroad. Okay, perfect. Any questions?
Yeah, hello. Can I ask a
Yeah.
question?
Yes, please.
The recommendations that you were talking about, can it be like I take those recommendations now, and then when I'm making the application, I show it then? Is it all right?
Why do you want to take it now? Because
Because like
when you
my
plan to
teachers
apply.
know it, because
Huh.
my teachers know me right now, and they might not know me by the time I graduate. So
No,
that's
when
the
are you
thing.
going to graduate? Is it like after 5,
I'm
6,
in my
7, 8,
second
9
year
years?
right now,
You're in second year. You will graduate in one more year, no?
2 years.
2 years, right? So 2 years, your professors will forget you. Should
It
not, right? You
depends.
have to build that kind of a relationship. I'll tell you why. Because you're just in second year, right? So you will mature in the next 2 years. You would have done so many other activities over the next 2 years. So there can be a lot of content now. Then if you take a recommendation, maybe somewhere in your towards the end of your third year, because when you are in your fourth year is when you will be applying, right? So by the time you would have had a significant amount of content with you. Now, if you take a recommendation to professor, what they will have to tell you, other than like saying that you are a very good person and you're a hard worker and you study well and all, other than that, they cannot really talk a lot about your research and academic interest, is it not? Right? So
Yeah.
I would suggest wait for one more year when you're applying, but maintain relationships with them, right? Maintaining relationships in today's world is super important. You have to keep networking with them, and you have to keep posting them what you're doing. That's when they will not forget. See, out of sight is out of mind, right? If
So
you're not in touch with them, then they'll forget, right? So you keep
yeah.
talking to them, you keep updating them what you're doing. You should be in their good book. They should remember you always, right? So that's a kind of an impression that you need to create. And as I said, be in touch with them constantly, speak to them, update them, and things like that. Okay.
All right. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other question? Any other question? Please feel free to ask with respect to your admissions. without your GMAT and GRE. What else is very, very important to get in? Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to ask a question. Yeah, it's me. So
Please.
you told us like some colleges are like course specific, right? We can't like jump from one branch to the other during our masters. So how do
No,
you
you
think?
can't.
Sorry,
Yeah, go
yeah.
ahead.
So like since more and more courses are becoming like open to, they're becoming more diverse. So how do you think the future of that will be? Will the colleges become more course like non-flexible,
Yeah.
or will it be more flexible in the
No,
future?
see, most of the colleges are becoming as flexible as possible, right? So the curriculum is a lot more customized, so you can pick and choose your courses. But again, you need to decide, that's what I'm saying. You need to decide where your interest lies. You need to decide what your strengths and weaknesses are. You need to decide what exactly you want to do in your life, right? It all again based on your interests and your strengths and weaknesses. Based on that, you choose a path. If you jump from one place to another place, you will not go anywhere. You know what I mean? Right? So that is very, very important. Okay. Though the most of the, like, I have my friends, and when I was doing my bachelor's and master's in electrical engineering in US, I mean, some of my classmates have taken courses in photography, have like they did a full course in photography. Some of my friends went to a filmmaking course. I went to a language course. So there you can do any number of courses that you want. It's up to you. Nobody's going to stop you from not taking any course from other department, right? But whatever department that you have chosen, there you have to definitely succeed. Otherwise, you will not get the certificate. Okay, but you can do any number of courses. You are free to do any number of courses. They will not charge you. They will not charge you for that. You can do it for free of cost. That's a great thing, right? You just have to pay for that, whatever 30 creators or so. Otherwise, free of cost. You can do any number of courses. It's up to you. But choose your path. So you can concentrate on that and come out as an expert in that area. Okay? Right.
Thank you.
Sure.
Hi.
Yeah. Any other question?
I
I think we
have
have
one
5 more.
question.
Yeah.
So I wanted to know what your thoughts are for the fall 2022 admissions intake. Are they going to waive the GRE and GMAT this sem, like they did last year?
See, vaccination drive is going to grow good. So I don't think they will be waiving GMAT GRE requirement. But again, as I said, they will be flexible in the sense that they will not put a lot of pressure on you to have a GRE or a GMAT score. They'll relatively be flexible, right? If you can give a valid reasons why you are unable to take a GMAT or a GRE and prove that you are academically great in some other form, then I'm sure they'll be flexible for this year, for 2022 admissions for sure. Though they don't officially waive off, right? Because some of the countries people are able to take, some of the countries people are not able to take, so they'll keep flexibility there.
And what about like the top universities like Yale, Cornell? Are these going to be flexible too?
Now, what program are you planning to apply?
I was planning on applying to the Silver Scholars program in Yale.
What program?
The Silver Scholars program at Yale.
Okay.
That's
So yes. So see, basically what is happening is this year a lot of experimentation is happening. That is what 2021 intake. A lot of colleges have waived off GMAT, a lot of colleges GRE, a lot of colleges have become too flexible for this year, barring a few colleges like Harvard and Stanford. They said we definitely need either GMAT or GRE, but quite a good number of colleges did kind of were being flexible. So they will see how the cohort is in this particular area. If the cohort quality is somewhat similar to what they have been having in the last few years, then they might become too flexible with GRE or GMAT. But if the cohort quality has come down significantly, then they will make sure that the student takes GMAT and GRE. As I said, for the top 10, 15 colleges, in order to have a competitive edge, it is imperative that you have your GMAT and GRE. Why? It's not about the college, essentially. It is about the students who apply. Like, let's say two students, you and another person is applying. Both of your profiles are pretty much same. Most of them are similar, but that guy has taken a GMAT or a GRE, but you haven't. So the preference goes to him. You understand what I'm saying? Even the score is not that great, the preference will go to him. So if it is possible, and if you are applying to the top colleges, top 15 colleges, it is always good to take the standardized test and be ready with the score.
Got it. Thank you.
Any other question? Can take one more question.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if we wanted to get a scholarship, what things should be different? Like, how do we get a scholarship?
Yeah. So scholarship is again essentially depends on multiple factors. You have to, if you are applying for, let's say, a master's program in engineering, then you, as I said, you need to really demonstrate your research and academic interest, right? In addition to having a very good academic scores in whatever program that you're currently pursuing, and having a good standardized test score, you also need to have a score there. And you should also demonstrate your research or academic interest by doing relevant research programs and things like that, right? So they need to see that you are a candidate who can be with them for a long time and will conduct research with them, right? So that's when there's a high chance that you can get a RA or a TA, which will help you get 100% scholarship, and also you'll get a stipend every month. Now, in addition to that, particularly for women, again, there are a wide variety of scholarship programs, right, which you can apply and try to get them. But again, most of the scholarship programs, you really need to show that you are different, like in terms of either do you have like a hardship kind of a thing, have you faced difficulties, have you faced any challenges in your life for the last few years to come to the stage where you have, boom, that's a great story, as I said. And first year students, there are quite a good number of scholarships available, right? So you need to show that, either you need to show that you have faced challenges to come wherever you have come so far. Like, I don't know, I mean, if you guys have seen news, there is a student from Ranchi has got a 100% scholarship to study at Harvard University. Have you guys seen that news? So if you see there, that particular girl, normally a tribal community, and people don't study in that community at all, right? And hardly anybody study, right? Even if they do. And this girl has not only studied, but has had courage to apply for such a top university like Harvard. So she got in with a scholarship, right? So that is very, very important. You have to be superly brilliant in whatever you're doing, and have to demonstrate. I'm not talking in terms of intelligence. Let's keep that aside. Everybody will have their own intelligence at a different levels. What I'm saying is your interest needs to be demonstrated in a form of the real things that you have done. Okay, you cannot simply say I have interest. You have to demonstrate that interest. Okay, that is with some kind of, as I said, work experience or research activities. Or, as I said, you should have had challenges, and which being a female, maybe you are in a gender discrimination, maybe the family didn't supported you, a whole bunch of things. There was a good student of ours for whom we did an MBA application to University of Toronto with scholarship, and she had to literally run away from her home to do undergrad, because after she passed the 12th, the entire family arranged for her marriage, because she comes from that kind of community in UP. And so she ran away, night, just her mom gave her some money and she ran away from home. She went to Delhi, registered herself for undergrad program, and she did her master's program in MCA. And then she came back to the hometown, and then she started helping other women do the same thing, right? Other women trying to break those challenges and get free and do something. And after a year or so, then she could do that. But again, once you study, you will have loans and all those things which you need to repay. So she joined a visa company as a software engineer, and she has around 3 years of work experience overall. And we were able to do her admission to, and she has a pretty decent amount of GMAT score. It's not like a very great score, a decent score. And we were able to do her admission to Rotman School of Business, University of Toronto, one of the top business school with scholarship. So like that. So there should be a story somewhere. I need to see a story. Okay. So did I answer your question?
You.
Yeah. Perfect, guys. Anything else, you please feel free to get in touch with me. I mean, my team has has given the contact details here, and you can also visit my LinkedIn profile. You can see my LinkedIn profile. Can you guys put in my LinkedIn profile, please, in the chat? People who want to get connected to me, please feel free to get connected to me. And people who want to speak to me personally, they just send an email. and I should my team will set up a team to set up a meeting with me, and then we can discuss it and take it forward and see whatever help that we can do for you guys to make sure that your dream of studying abroad is realized. Okay, perfect. Ashwini, can you please put the Rakriti, can you please put my LinkedIn profile there? You guys have a LinkedIn profile?
Hey, it's been put up.
Okay, cool. So that's my LinkedIn profile. People want to go through the recommendations and the recommendation section from a lot of students who have gone to top colleges, starting from Wharton, Stanford, to Yale, Oxford, Cambridge, a whole bunch of business schools and graduate schools we were able to help. So we can see a whole bunch of students under the recommendations list, and connect with me and get in touch, okay, and see what best we can do. Okay, perfect, guys. Thank you so much. Unless there is any question, thanks a lot for being a great audience and a great, wonderful listeners. And once again, take care of yourself, stay at home, and make sure that you follow all precautions and help the country break the chain. And let's all together stop this COVID nonsense happening in the country. Okay, chalo, thank you so much. Take care, and bye-bye.
Thank you. Thanks so much. I'm confident all of them got to take back